Good evening everyone, welcome to the Activity Hub Bali presenting the V8 Supercar Oval Series. Coming to you tonight from Kansas Speedway. I'm Stuart Brown, I'm your host for tonight for this, I believe we're on to round 5 of this series, and we've got a really strong grid again for you tonight. 26 cars coming to you, and a couple of our internationals driving again this week as well. Derek Jacobs and John Murphy coming back into the series. So looking good for a strong race tonight. Got a few changes in the broadcast again as we continue to work towards setting ourselves up for next year. So able to hear what is going on in the drivers' chat throughout the event, including listening to our race administrators as well, and any penalties handed down. So maybe we'll have them jump in as well at stages to give us an update on what is going on. But we're just about to get into qualifying here. It is solo qualifying in this event, so one car on track at the time. And we'll keep an eye out for the fastest movers, those doing their best laps throughout the next 5-minute qualifying period. It is a 2-lap showdown for the drivers to put in their best lap to get to the front of the field. Just waiting for the clock to switch over there. There it goes. And Sean Hurley it is who's going to lead us away. First car out on track along with Liam Russell. Liam Russell in the Craig Lowndes Caltex Vortex liveried Commodore. In fact, we've got mainly Commodores here tonight. There are only 6 Falcons in the field running the legacy cars in this series if you are joining us for the first time. So we've got the VF Commodore, and of course we've got the FG Falcon for the Supercars changed over to the current spec car of the future. It is a fixed race setup here, so all drivers driving with the same setup, and that makes for some good driving. We've got drivers needing to adapt to the setup that is put into the cars as we're on board here with Sean Hurley, who is the first of our official race lap qualifiers. Just looking in there, he's done his first lap of the session. Coming around to complete that lap now. Just keep an eye out on what time he pops through the timing monitor as he goes across the line now. Gets some 32.27, so Liam Russell behind him with a 32.57. Aaron Doohan about to come across the line now and complete his first flying lap as well. Where does he put that car? 32.61 into the third. And Sean Hurley, 32.27, still fastest around as he comes around to complete his second flying lap. Will finalise his best lap time for qualifying for tonight. Slightly slower 32.35 there, so still number 1 at the moment as we get through this qualifying series, or qualifying section of this evening. Joining us for the first time as well. This staging in this one at laps 25 and 50, where the top 10 cars at both of those intervals will pull into pit lane. Nobody else is allowed to go into pit lane at that point in time, and the entire field will go past, and those drivers will then move back out onto the track, effectively doing a top 10 shuffle. And that made for some really good racing last week. Probably the best race we've seen in the series so far. Just looking for a couple more cars on track. We've got Michael Skurlock, who we'll jump on board with now. In that new chrome looking livery that he's got running there. He's just about to, once he comes around the final corner, he commences his first flying lap. We've got a few drivers yet to complete. Billy Ryan just about to come around, one of our stronger performers from last week. Alright, joining us on the stream. Don't forget to subscribe, follow or like us on whatever platform, whether it be Twitch, Facebook or YouTube that you are watching us on. Billy Ryan there just finishing with a 32.36 as his fastest lap. Barry Neal on a good run for him so far. Of course, it is his first time around, but a purple first sector, so he's going to feature well. What's he done there? 32.26. So jumps straight up to pole position. Looking for other purple sectors where they come through. It is compulsory for the drivers to qualify here, so there's no ability to just start from pit lane. Steve Payne puts in a 32.79. So it looks like mid-32s is the pace. Barry Neal, purple first sector as well, so this lap is going to be quick up, one would assume. And just slightly slower there in the second sector, so a 32.28, only 2/100ths of a second slower than his pole position lap. We've got John Murphy, who is out, and he was out on track to do a second lap but has pulled in there, so that does complete qualifying. We've still got 21 seconds on the clock, but no one else with any laps left to run. So as I mentioned, we do have a top 10 switch. Top 10 cars will rotate to the back. So just waiting for the grid to come up now, and we'll bring you through that. And here we go. All right, let's get through the order here. We've got Barry Neal taking out pole position there with Sean Hurley alongside him on row 1. Nick Ryan and Billy Ryan on row 2. Michael Skurlock, Stephen Williams on row 3. Back to Dwayne Priest, Gavin Sadler on row 4. We've got Liam Russell and Raymond Jager on row 5, followed by Ryan Bull and Paul Jackson on row 6. Move it back a row. Waiting for it to tick over there. There it goes. We've got Justin Witcher, Michael Schroeder, followed by Aaron Dillon and Greg Spenter. Then we're into Christopher Finlay and Derek Jacobs in 17th and 18th. We've got William Carroll, Nigel Patton, 19th and 20th. Stephen Payne, 21st. Stuart Pedersen in 22nd there with Steve Hoppett and Scott McClintock in the next row. As we move into the last row, we do have John Murphy and Brad Allison taking out the whole grid. So we have just had the drivers briefing on in the background as well. And I can tell you that as we said, 100 laps here tonight. Critical laps are 25 and 50. Switch this over to lap 100. I'm just waiting for the drivers to jump out onto the grid here. And there we go, on board and ready to roll. So they'll do obviously the one pace lap behind the pace truck, and then we will get started for the race tonight. Okay, so let's get underway here. It's going to be a good race. Race control addition to this series made a massive difference last week. We saw a much higher standard of driving from everyone. And I think also part of that is coming from the fact that the drivers are just getting used to running with one another. It does take a little bit of time to run these things really close together as they do, and do it in a way that allows them to do it without any sort of incident. Who'll lead us away early next to him. In fact, I've got Holden and Ford on the first two rows of the grid. Thanks for tuning in, 77. So, paying a lot of attention as well to how close all the cars are on the start here and on restarts. It was mentioned specifically in the driver's briefing, so you can see here, nice and close together. It is under control of the green flag, off and running with Barry New and Sean Hurley, Nick Ryan, Michael Skurlock running at the front with 4 wide, a little bit further back in the pack as we do try and get this one underway. Challenging little track at this one. It is going to be interesting to see how these cars go at Kansas Speedway. Run high in line. Oh, we've got a car up into the highway in there. I think that was Dwayne Priest who might have been off in the background there. Looks like it's just been a single car incident as well, so good news there, not doing too much damage to the rest of the pack, but he has made his way all the way down the back there. Just this pack in the middle here, there's plenty of drivers making plenty of noise on the race chart. It's good to be able to hear that actually. That's a massive amount of information for me to provide to you, the viewer, as we get through the race tonight. The sound improvements we're trying to make on the channel, again in preparation for next year. On board now with Raymond Yeager, who is in again the Autobahn liveried Craig Lowndes car. Not sure which race event that was for him, but he did have, it was for some milestone races or something, races that were ages ago. But yes, it was a milestone livery, I believe, for him. Maybe someone can jump in the chat and let us know where that one came from, but Jager currently running in 6th. He's up 4 places from his starting position of 10th. And it is Barry Neal who currently leads this one in the Commodore. We do have our first caution period of the night. So it was Neil. Looks like Nigel Patton may have had an issue. Aaron Dillon as well into pit lane. So let's have a quick jump back and have a quick look at what happened to Nigel Patton there. So Patton in the cat car, and yeah, he's just not quite seen. I believe it was Aaron Dillon's car up in the top there, the NZ police livery car. So just not seeing him there. You can expect that he will probably get a drive-through for that at some stage, but fortunately only taking out one car in that incident. Waiting for the couple of laps under caution here. It is the risk on this track. Drivers run quite a high line here to get some pace, and in doing so, it does expose them to more impact with the wall than we would normally see at some of the other circuits we run at. So very much need to be careful. make sure not to suffer the fate of running into the wall or clipping the wall. No fast repairs here, so drivers can't just click themselves over. They do have 3 sets of tyres as well they can use tonight. Do expect to see those used at lap 25, 50. And obviously they've got the set that they can use in that 50 lap main section of the race. They will need to make a pit during that time, and we did see a little bit of pit strategy coming into play as well last week. Last week we did run at Pocono, which is a very challenging track, the triangle it is called, fittingly so. Try to bring the track map up here for you, but just having a little bit of an issue getting it on the screen. It just doesn't want to quite come up and play. So Barry Neal has led the 3 or so laps we've done in the open, not under the pace car.
It's race control, just letting you know that the penalty was on car number 9. He left his line, came up and made contact with the 5. End of line penalty.
Beautiful, thanks Michael. So just race control jumping in there to let us know, as we suspected, that there would be a penalty for that, just for the move up. Not quite allowing enough room there for the other driver to make his way. Car 23 jumping into pit lane there. Expecting the pace truck to pull off now. Yeah, lights are off, so we will be going green racing at the conclusion of this lap. So we'll be starting lap 8 of the first phase, 25. They do call the first phase if there is a yellow flag anywhere from lap 23 onwards. So then you can expect to see all of the cars file through pit lane. A little bit of conjecture going on in the driver's room. They're just having a chat about the restart procedure here, understanding which lane they're allowed to be in, and it sounds a little bit funny for lanes on a racetrack, but you can see there are absolutely lane markings on the track, so they do have 3 lanes effectively on this circuit. So we're at control of Barry Neal here. He'll want to get away and get another good start here and make his way towards lap 25. Trying to take maximum points from this first phase of the race. And he's had a good start. He's having a few internet issues by the look of it, just jumping in and out of screen. So we'll just jump a little bit further back just to Billy Ryan. We'll sit on with him at the moment as Michael Skurlock looks to make a move around the outside of him to move up into second place. Not quite going to hold it there. And Billy Ryan just going to maybe pin him up on the wall there. And Barry, yeah, just struggling with the connection. So it makes it terribly difficult for the other drivers to have any confidence in knowing where they are on the track, obviously, if they're disappearing off the screen. But good communication going on as well. So I'll jump back a little bit further. This is the battle between Nick Ryan, Michael Skurlock, Stephen Williams and Gavin Sadler. This is for 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th. In fact, we've got 7th and 8th in there as well, so big pack forming here. A little bit of a slide there for Nick Ryan. You can see that Stephen Williams was all over him in the HRT liveried Commodore. move trying to be put on here on Barry Neal by Billy Ryan. Quite high in the line there. Go back through the pack and have a look at some of the other battles going on here. This is the battle for ninth. Got Michael Schroeder, Paul Jackson, Christopher Finlay, Justin Witcher. And we've also got Raymond Jager and Dwayne Priest, of course, who did have a moment earlier on in the race. He's now back involved in that battle. A few positions being changed there. Sister car there, Ayatoa Racing. Hopefully I've got that right. I think I've got it right. Priest behind them. And you can see there, 4 wide, 3 wide even. Into the turn. Bit of damage to the back of Justin Witcher's car. Hey Luke, thanks very much for the like as always and tuning in. Just on board with Justin Witcher, who's got a little bit of damage, we're just saying, to the back corner of that Commodore. But, he's battling away just outside the top 10. So Paul Jackson and Raymond Jager go for it. Nice and close, using the draft to good effect, or whatever draft there may be. So he's going to get the job done. Paul Jackson down the inside. May even take Justin Mitchell with him as well, albeit looks like Michael Schroeder's got the door closed on that temporarily. So there, just a little clip of the wall. It's difficult here. Line's generally the quickest line. Got to try and stay off those walls as much as you can. Looking at Christopher Finlay there, his car looks like it has been through an absolute war. Missing the rear boot lid and spoiler completely, so that'll be playing, should have an impact on that car's ability to corner. Not too aggressive in the banks here at Kansas. Still on the red flag racing. That's still on the green flag racing, I should say. Red flag would be good. I'll jump back up the front and just check what's going on. Billy Ryan and Nick Ryan still battling away, but the gap's widened. It's 3/10 now between Billy and Nick. Nick's more worried, I think, probably about Stephen Williams here. Red hot crack down underneath. Skurlock getting involved in this battle as well. Just down on the inside there in that chrome Commodore. This is a 5-way battle for the lead. Trying to look for, there it is there, Barry Neal. Looks like he's copped a little bit of damage. So he was in the lead. Didn't actually see any incident registered for that one, but obviously having a small issue. He's dropped out of this lead pack, so he'll get to have another run at it as the changeover happens and the night progresses to move on to lap 20 of 100. Get into that window where the first phase can be called. We'll move on here. 98 of Stephen Williams. Bit of smoke ahead as well. I'm not too sure where that's coming from. We'll get to see that, no doubt, in a moment. There it is there, down on the inside of the track. Looks like Ryan Bull may have had a small issue. He lost a motor there, so he may be out of proceedings this evening. On our way to a quarter of the way through this one. Activity Hub Bali V8 Supercar Oval Series from Kansas Speedway. If you are joining us, thank you for doing so with your Sunday evening to have a look at this new series. So new, we are, I believe, 5 weeks into it now already, so certainly continues to develop, and develop well it does. Ryan Bull looks like he's got back out from pit lane, so getting that car fixed. There was the one fast repair actually that the drivers get, so they will use that up now. There's Billy, Ryan and Steve Williams still battle away. Michael Skurlock well and truly in the window here to get to lap 25. You can see there, it's very, very tight. Now got 4 drivers in the mix. Gavin Sadler joining in as well. If you want to maximise the points here in phase 1, you should get put to the back and make your way back through the pack as well. So you may not feature again until the latter part of the race in our main stage. Behind the line there, but holding it well. Skurlock using the low line. It's a thing that we generally have been seeing from Michael Skurlock. He drives to the beat of his own drum. And the other drivers are using the high line to try and generate pace. He's doing something slightly different, and the story is no different here tonight. He's running a very low line in comparison. That we are going to in this phase at lap 25. We're halfway through the last lap of phase 1. 10 drivers will file into pit lane then once we get around, and we'll wait until the pack passes them and then rejoin at the back. So at the end of this lap there will be a yellow called who will take down phase 1. At this stage, like Williams is just generating a little bit of extra pace. He's got a good gap now, 2/10, not heaps, but enough. Billy Ryan, Gavin Sadler, Michael Skurlock. We come around to conclude this phase. It does look like it's going to be Stephen Williams who's going to take it out. Yes, it is. Williams, Ryan, Sadler, Skurlock, Nick Ryan, Liam Russell, Michael Schroeder. We've got Raymond Yeager, Dwayne Priest, and last but not least, Christopher Finlay, who will pull into pit lane and rotate through their 10. Just waiting for that full caution yellow to be called, and there it is. Bringing it into phase 1 in the race. As I said, it was Williams, Ryan and Sadler taking out the top 3 positions, but all top 10 drivers will rotate their way through to the back of the pack. I'm just going to quickly throw to a commercial, and we'll be right back. Okay, and we're back. So the top 10 drivers have rotated through pit lane. They'll be joining on to the back of the field now. We're just waiting for the pace truck to pull in. And then we'll run into lap 50, where we'll have our second stage conclusion. Just waiting for race control to provide confirmation that we're all good and ready to go. Lights are still on the pace truck. So won't be quite going green racing just yet. Can't be too far away. So they'll go out at the end of this lap. Okay, lights are out. A couple of stop and go penalties being issued to some of our drivers for pitting during the competition caution, which is how we rotate through our top 10 to the end of the grid. So that's Stuart Pedersen and Sean Hurley. Just get notification there that Sean Hurley's actually had an incident as well, so he may well be out for the remainder of the evening. Alright, so we're going to get going here. We've got Justin Witcher and Greg Spencer who are going to take us away, and we get going for phase 2 of Round 5. It is Witcher, Spencer, Carroll, Patton, McClintock, Payne, Jacobs, Hoyce, Finley and Steve Hoppett, who are our top 10 after that rotation. Michael Skurlock already making his way up. He is back up into 14th. From third last at the restart, so a great start for him. And not to be unexpected either, Billy Ryan going right with him, Nick Ryan there as well, so you can see some really good racing throughout this second phase. The Activity Hub Bali V8 Supercar Oval Series, coming from Kansas. This was deliberately introduced to try and get the drivers to have to make their way back through, to spice it up at the front. Some really good, hard racing throughout the field. I tell you, Justin Witcher's got a cracking start. He is half a second up, which in oval track racing, as you know, is enormous. And Carroll, Greg Spencer as well, battling away. Carroll actually in an Activity Hub Bali sponsored Commodore. Sorry, my apologies, that is Greg Spencer. William Carroll actually in the NZ liveried police car. NZ police car liveried Commodore even. So All sorts of livery selection here is awesome. Of the real car liveries that some of these guys are running. Featured a couple of Lowndes liveries. We've got the John Deere Cat Falcon in the background there as well, being run by Nigel Patton. Not sure anyone else ran the Cat Falcon actually, maybe someone else did, but I know John Deere did run it as a livery for a while, so I'm sticking with it. Maybe not on this particular Falcon, but certainly on Falcons gone past. Just going to switch back a little further here to this battle pack that's developing. You can see this huge gaggle of cars there. We've got 5, 6 cars battling away that we're on board with here. Jacobs, Finlay, Ryan, Christopher Finlay, that is Ryan. McClintock, Sadler, Steve Williams also involved there. So right there that Steve Williams might be having issues with his internet connection. A little bit of that going on in the field tonight. So we've had some good clean racing so far this evening. The driver's doing a fantastic job to improve the quality of the driving. So William Carroll may be having internet connection issues as well. But he's out into the lead now. Austin Witcher second, Greg Spencer third. All battling away here at the front. You can see the pack now for the lead. 8 or 9 cars deep, covering just over a second between first place and 8th place as it sits. Got 10.5 laps to go until that second phase concludes. The 10th between these two. It is Spencer and Skurlock already up to 4th place. That was an absolutely stonking drive from Skurlock. He has come from the back of the field with our phase ending, and he is now up into 3rd position after all of that, and now moves into 2nd. So Michael Skurlock is flying here. He's going to take an absolute bag of points if he can get into the top 10 for the first 2 phases. Particularly then if he can make it happen into the last phase as well, as he moves into the lead ahead of William Carroll. And he's got a heck of a lot of pace in that Commodore. Fueled it up, put some tyres in it, and off it goes. And he's already 4 tenths up. A great drive here from Skurlock, who takes the lead, and a commanding lead already at that. Got Priest, Schroeder and Spencer all battling away there. You can see 3 cars wide. Close the gap a little bit. And then battling along is actually going to help Skurlock extend his lead. They will jostle and fight for position. It's a big slide there for Witcher, what looked like a big slide anyway. managed just to keep it under control. Got down onto the apron, managed to hold the thing, keep it going. Again, there 2, 4, 6, 7 cars vying for second position effectively. Michael Skurlock wrapped up, second out, 5.5 laps to go until that phase 2 finishes. Look at how bunched up they are, doing a great job. Look out the back of Dwayne Priest's Commodore. Around the bank, a little bit of damage on the front of the Witcher Commodore. Just a move done. Oh, so we've got a little bit of contact with the wall there for Priest. Slowed him down and exposed him. Carroll still up in the lead here. I think he might still be having issues with the internet. They're just bouncing off and on the track. You can see the smoke. There it goes again, disappearing off the track. So I'm surprised if the drivers will be on the radio shortly, letting race control know that that's happening. See Justin Witcher there, getting right down on the apron again to try and make sure that he doesn't get caught up in any return from the William Carroll Commodore. Skurlock now 1.5 seconds ahead. Michael Schroeder again running that low line too, just getting quick cut off there. Cut off's the wrong word. Closed out, that's probably the better way to put it, by Justin Witcher. Didn't know too much. Schroeder now still coming along strong. He's moved up to the high line, Carroll. Just confirmation there from race control. That's at the completion of lap 50, phase 2 will be called. So then we had we'll have the top 10 again roll their way back through pit lane. So Michael Skurlock here, you're going to wrap this one up. The battle here that has not sorted itself out. Carroll, Williams, Witcher, Schroeder, Spencer, all battling for second place still. Could be anyone's. Some instruction from race control there for William Carroll to stay in the low line because of the blinking going on with his connection. So he may be out of this battle at the moment. He'll still take a good, strong finish though. As, oh, there's a bump there. And there they go. That's a huge bump. And it looks like Michael Schroeder has been taken out. This will call the end to phase 2. As Schroeder gets taken out, William Carroll involved in that one. Those two drivers going to have to head in, and there'll be a penalty applied there, I am sure. Let's go back and have a look at the replay. As you just see there, William Carroll just start moving a little bit, just down onto Carroll and not giving him enough, Michael Schroeder, my apologies, not giving him probably enough room. There's a little bit of movement in both of the cars. Interesting to see how race control called this one. Obviously with Carroll having those connection issues, that does impact on his ability to control the car. So what I can tell you is Michael Skurlock storming run from the back of the field to take phase 2. So it is Skurlock, Williams, Witcher, Patton, Russell, Priest, Neil, Sadler, McClintock and Derek Jacobs who will make their way into pit lane, as you can see there. And they will then refile their way to the back of the pack. Jump on board with our new race leader, which I believe will be Steve Hoppert. Okay, so we're going to take another real quick break before we get back out for the main 50 lap run at the end of this.
Race control here, car number 5, end of line penalty, coming up on the driver. Yeah, that's our decision.
Okay, so as you just heard there was a end of line penalty applied there for that, shall we say, closure done by William Carroll on Michael Schroeder. So lights are out. We're going to have new run going on. We've got Steve Hoppett's going to run us away here in the Canberra Comrec sponsored Commodore. Steve Payne, Michael Schroeder, Derek Jacobs, Scotty McClintock, Gavin Sadler, Liam Russell, Dwayne Pearce and Justin Witcher. Our top 10 now after the rotation. What that means is so keep an eye on Michael Skurlock, who's going to make his way through. Guaranteed again, and we're off and running. Steve Hoppett. This is his first time on a clear track in front of him, out the front of the field. And, I think my favourite race number, number 81. That's my racing number. So doing representing, I should say. But out in front at the moment. As we're now going to run here to lap 100. Doing a good job, Steve Hoppett. He's already gapped the field. He's 8 tenths up. Barron Neal, Steve Payne, Justin Witcher, Michael Skurlock, already up to 5th position. And he started 13th, so he is in prime position to make the most of this and convert. bumping there. I'm chat in the thing as well, in the driver's thing. Sorry, just trying to catch up with what's going on at the same time. Steve Hoppett, Justin Witcher just being closed up on there. Barry Neal back out in the lead here. So Steve Hoppett, Justin Witcher running a little bit in the low line there as well. Steve Williams, and Paul Jackson. Michael Skurlock has jumped into pit lane, so he's decided to take tyres. Didn't take tyres during that top 10 switch over, so he will have to make his way back through the field. Which I'm sure he will do. He's getting tyres now, so he should be fueled up and ready to run to the end of the race. About 58 already. Justin Witcher, Dwayne Priest also in pit lane. So I'll slide down the order a little bit. You can see Michael Skurlock there making his way out as Barry Neal continues to lead here. Only 2 seconds up the road from Stephen Williams in second place. The drivers not doing their pit stops during that safety period, so some running low on fuel. Expect to see a few more pit stops here. In fact, it was Stephen Williams, who I just heard on the radio saying exactly that he was running low on fuel. So he's now jumping into pit lane. So then he had a few runs through pit lane. Nigel Patton has not pitted since lap 4, so he will be expecting to come in as well. And Derek Jacobs, the other one as well. A few drivers more than a lap down now as well. Michael Skurlock, one of those drivers after his pit stop, but that'll change. All the drivers will have to pit again, so he will get that lap back. Neal remains well out in front on this one, 3 seconds up. It's a very reasonable gap in a race that really only looks at tenths. Got Michael Schroeder there, a lap car. Of course, in this game, there are no blue flags, so a lap car does not have to give way to a faster car coming through behind it. Of course, necessary if there is a caution period, the lucky dog does apply. Lucky dog being the leading car a lap down does get let through and will be able to make that lap back up, get onto the lead lap again. Battle within a battle, but certainly no cause to give way to the faster cars coming through. So Raymond Jaeger there, just behind Michael Schroeder. So not for position, but certainly battling away. A little bit of fight on here between Patton and Spencer for positions 3 and 4. Still 4 involved in this battle, not all on the same lap either. Coming up on Liam Russell here in the 888. Vodafone entry. Vodafone entry. My goodness me, what a slip. Caltex Vortex entry is what I meant to say. Autobahn, depending on which part of the car you're looking at. Maybe even a little bit of Red Bull. Liam Russell there just keeps the high line. Obviously knows that Patton has the pace. He's going to not make it easy for him, but definitely let him through. He's going to get involved in an incident and potentially affect his own race. Still close here between Williams and Schroeder. This is for position as well. 13th and 14th. Those two cars having just been through pit lane. Michael Skurlock just in front of them there, 3.5 seconds up the road. Those guys would really be thankful for a caution. It would be likely then that the those in front would jump into pit lane and they would make that lap back up. Not use up too much tyre trying to move their way back up through the field. Thought he would Michael Skurlock, who did win at phase 2. He's recently pitted lap 56. Nigel Patton due to pit very shortly, I would suggest. And with Derek Jacobs as well. They may have pitted at some stage and it hasn't registered on our timing monitor. It's an extraordinarily long pit run with these cars having 100% fuel access this race. So able to run the full 110 litres, I believe. So they still are able to do it. Tyres will be a little bit average on that Ford by now. So most of our other drivers have repitted. And as we're just getting word there, Nigel is in this lap, so Patton will pit this lap, along with Derek Jacobs. So they're our two longest running cars jumping in to pit lane, so they'll get tyres and a fuel up. And allow Neil Jackson and Spencer to be our top 3 drivers thereafter. So it looks like the ATO racing boys are sorting themselves out, first and second at the moment. Followed by Greg Spencer in the Activity Hub Bali sponsored Commodore. As we do need to mention our broadcast partners as well tonight. Media, along with Aftershock PC, running through St Kilda Road, the place to go for a computer if you're looking for it, gaming PC, whatever it might be, or laptop. They've been frantically busy putting together computers with the new RTX graphics cards in them as Greg Spencer now ducks into pit lane. And I know they've been frantic putting those together and sending them out to customers right across the country. So if you are looking for a computer, Aftershock PC, place to go, supporting a local company. And of course Virtual Motorsport Mentor as well, Chris Purnell and the team. We're going to go faster in the sim, and certainly they are the people to see. Even professionals have coaches, so why not you? Yourself up to pace, whether it be on oval track, dirt or circuit racing. Chris Purnell and the team, the place to go to get some coaching, even including helping you just get your setup right. So have a chat with them, virtualmotorsportmentor.com. They'll be able to help you out. Lap 72 of 100. Let's head on to lap 73. Barry Neal leading this one. It's on board with Billy Ryan at the moment. A fair old gap between Neil, Jackson and Ryan. But, mainly that is due to pit lane stoppages. I'm expecting to see stop from Neil and Jackson at some stage. Billy Ryan should make it through to the end of this one, pitting on lap 34 I should say. Brandon Jager pitting on lap 32. The rest of the field, with the exception maybe Ryan Bull, are going to be right to run this one to the very end. So Michael Skurlock has now unlapped himself, currently in 9th position. A couple of drivers still to pit. He will make his way a bit further up, so going to finish all 3 races, or I should say all 3 stages inside of the top 10. Fantastic effort from him. Here in there. Someone saying on the radio, sounded like they might have come a cropper, but couldn't see anything other than maybe Steve Hoppett going off track. So maybe it was him on the radio there. As Barry Neal continues to lead this one. Activity Hub Bali V8 Supercar Oval Series, round 5. So it is Barry Neal coming into pit lane now, as we suspected would probably happen. Let's have a look to see if Paul Jackson follows him in. No, there might be on slight. No, there it goes there. So two race leaders, the race leader. Oh, he's just taking a really low line there. So not jumping into pit lane. Let's move Billy Ryan up into second position. He may still need to pit along with Raymond Yeager. What I'm really watching is Michael Skurlock as he makes up another position here, now up into 8th. Steve Williams behind him, having completed his pit stop as required. Skurlock will probably pick up another spot here as he goes past Barry Neal in pit lane. So will Stuart Pedersen. Pedersen still, I believe, to pit one more time. As Neal does come out. How's that going to work? So Skurlock's just going to come up on the back of Barry Neal as he gets out of pit lane. So there'll be a battle on there in the not too distant future. Paul Jackson now leads this one. He's in a little bit of traffic too, so may want to get out of that quicker or as quickly as he can, so he doesn't end up getting caught in it. Jackson, Ryan and Yeager. Another pack here. So we've got our caution period. So what has been the cause of that? Sure what's the cause of that caution is. See if I'm picking up somewhere on the track. I have to jump right out, I think, into the blimp here and see if I can find. Go back to the here. Just jump down through the pack. Right, there it is there. Can't quite work out who that was, but there was an incident there at the top side of the track that has brought out this caution. So this is going to close the field right up here. I think it was Christopher. Oh, there we go. So it might have been Christopher Finlay. Oh no, he's done that during the safety car. So at least that was a single car incident. That one that could have been very nasty, indeed. Okay, so car 9 is what the call is. That's Nigel Patton, responsible for the safety car period. So he's been given an end of line penalty. So he will file to the back of the field. Paul Jackson in pit lane, Billy Ryan and Raymond Yeager all in pit lane. So That means that Nick Ryan assumes the lead of this race. We're going to have, when this caution period ends, we have 15 laps to go. Tommy Screen's just adjusting here. As I said, Nick Ryan is in the lead. He is. Paul Jackson just coming back out of pit lane. As Nick Ryan closes up on the back of the safety car. So I'm just waiting to see this all adjust through. We've got Nick Ryan in pit lane now. Christopher Finlay, Michael Schroeder in pit lane as well. Scott McClintock. So just waiting for this to adjust itself so we can give you the running order of the field. But it does look like Paul Jackson is back in the lead. He's done his stop last lap around. Billy Ryan the same, Raymond Jager the same. So Barry Neal is in 5th. Michael Skurlock ready to go as well. So there's a little bit of a mix. So I'm just going to bring the battle box up here actually. See here we've got a couple of drivers in the mix. I'm just going to drop down the order a little bit here. So we've got Finlay and McClintock, my apologies, out of order. So 9th and 16th respectively in between positions 3 and 4. Now remembering that we've only got a handful of laps to go. And there you go, there's a huge amount of cars between Ryan and Skurlock. Barry Neal, and Skurlock. There's probably 4 or 5 lap cars that they need to wave around to make sure that they're not involved. So I believe it's Steve Payne. We've got Stu Pedersen as well. Ryan Bull, and we've also got, I believe it's Dwayne Crease as well. So big mixture of cars in the middle there. We don't want that. We want to see a good, strong run to the end. Not sure why these other drivers are still in the mix here. They should be making their way by, getting things underway. So the pack will close up right now. We're going to get running again. Off goes the pace car. And we are racing. Jackson, Ryan, Jager, Nick Ryan, we've got Barry Neal, Michael Skurlock, Steve Williams, Rick Spencer, Christopher Finlay and Justin Witcher as our top 10. There's a little bit of a mix going on in terms of cars in the traffic. I can tell you there's some drivers on the chat that aren't too happy about it. They will hopefully make their way through. Give us that final run that we're looking for as Ryan just noses in front of Jackson. 16, 15 to go this time around. Jaeger sitting in the wings here, just waiting. The racing gets real close at the front there. Jackson's on the high line there. Billy Ryan getting a good run. On board now with Michael Skurlock just to see how he's getting on with those traffic concerns that he had. Looks like they have cleared out a little bit. Not even far line there. I believe it's Steve Hoppett in front of him. He's trying to chase down Barry Neal as Michael Skurlock. So really close at the front here. Tense, in fact, between our front three drivers. Also Finlay just involved there. Just on the back of the pack. Billy Ryan in front, 13 to go, 12 to go in a moment. Not too long for these drivers now. Pressure tyres, these front cars making the difference. 32 5s at the moment, the rest of the field in the 33s. Stage, of course, Finlay not involved in this battle for the lead. Certainly holding his own in the pack. Ryan, Jager, Jackson moving real close together, doing a good job. Try and keep it clean. We've got 11 laps to go. From Kansas Speedway. It's going to be a good close finish. That's exactly what we want to see. The driving tonight's been really good. A good week of running. 10 to go now. Really is only Ryan, Jaeger and Jackson in it. So Finlay has just taken up that position there. He's jumped up into the high line now though, letting Jackson go by. In fact, he's run so high he's running on the wall. So it is now Billy Ryan, Raymond Jaeger and Paul Jackson on screen. All for position. And Nick Ryan has joined into this battle. And now we've got a caution period, unfortunately. I'm not sure what the cause of that was. We'll bring that on to you now. Here. So it might have been a little bit further back than that. Just jump back through this here and see what you can see. And this is a car down on the low side of the track there, so race control might jump in and give us a little bit of an update on that one. Can't really see what the cause of it was, but what it means is that we're going to end up with about a 5-lap sprint race, and it's going to be Ryan, Jaeger, Jackson, Nick Ryan in the Falcon, Barry Neal, Michael Skurlock. There's actually Skurlock's jumped into pit lane here. This is an interesting strategy. I know he's got a set of tyres left, so maybe choosing to chuck them on for the 5-lap sprint race. He's going to have pace on his side if he does that. So definitely going to be in for tyres. It won't be a fuel issue as the Commodore goes up in the air. Steve Williams also choosing to do the same thing. So I just want to see where they're going to pop out in the pack. They should be able to get it done and get out and get back onto the back of the lead pack. In fact, Skurlock already on his way out now. With no fuel required. So Christopher Finlay there has been given an end of line penalty. for that racing incident that caused the yellow flag. Not the yellow flag, the caution period. So he was involved in that tussle at the front there, but yeah, we did see him run high up into the wall. As Raymond Jaeger comes into pit lane now as well. So that's going to move a few more of our drivers up the list. 6 laps to go. It'll be a 5-lap sprint race. Expect the lights on that pace car to go out this lap. Raymond Jaeger's in pit lane. So we've now got an adjusted order of Ryan Jackson. So, sounds like a name. Billy Ryan, Paul Jackson, Nick Ryan, Barry Neal, Greg Spencer, Michael Skurlock, and Stephen Williams, all involved, all with the potential to take out this race. Michael Skurlock, Stephen Williams out there on fresh rubber, so they are going to be quick. So look out for them. More lap, you'll see a couple of the cars getting let go, file their way through. So who's going to take this out? It's going to be a really good finish here. Fresh tyres, good pace from these guys, solid racing all night. Who's going to be the one that takes it out? We've got no lap traffic in the mix. The pack closes right up here. 4 laps. Sprint to the finish. Who is your money on? Billy Ryan, Paul Jackson, Nick Ryan, Barry Neal, Greg Spencer, Michael Skurlock, Steve Williams, and Raymond Jaeger. Closing the pack up now. Pace truck will pull off at the control of the leader. And we're off and running. Billy Ryan has got a cracking start here. A little bit of a hold up there. Looks like Greg Spencer just bogged on the start. Could not get that thing off the line. So it is Ryan Jackson, Neal and Skurlock now with a good little buffer of around about half a second back to Nick Ryan. There are 4 laps to go in the Activity Hub Bali V8 Supercar Oval Series. Of course, brought to you by FGM eCars, your E-Place for pace. Ryan and Jackson getting a small break on Neal and Skurlock. Skurlock's there just battling away. You can see him there down on the low side. A bit of a touch of the wall in the background. We don't want another caution period. We want to get to see this one out to the conclusion. And Jackson battling away. High line is Barry Neal, low line is Michael Skurlock. Just behind him, Aotoa Racing doing what they need to do. They're going to work as a team here, surely. It looks like Barry Neal just right up in on him. Michael Skurlock there getting a great run up. And he is down. And it looks like he's going to get into the lead. He is. What a cracking run there from Skurlock. With 2 to go now. Still got 3 cars in this, 4 cars in this. Skurlock, Ryan, Neal and Jackson all battling away. The rest of the pack's caught up to them now. Ryan's looking for a way around him. Paul Jackson now sticking the Autobahn entry up into the mix. Get the white flag this time around. Anyone's race. Skurlock trying to open up a gap. 2/10 in the lead from Billy Ryan. On this last lap, Billy Ryan here under pressure from Raymond Jaeger. It looks like it is going to be Michael Skurlock who's going to take out a commanding night here at Kansas Speedway with 2 wins in terms of a stage win and the main feature win as well. A great outcome. So there it is, Skurlock and Jaeger, followed by Billy Ryan, taking out the top 3 positions there. So let's have a look at our top 18 spots. Skurlock, Jaeger, Ryan, Neal, Jackson, Williams, Nick Ryan, Greg Spencer, Liam Russell and Justin Witcher rounding out our top 10 for the main race. So just looking for the drivers to make their way up into the room so that we can have a chat with them as well. Get the ins and outs of the race. There's Billy Ryan, Raymond Jaeger up into the room. I'm just waiting on Michael Skurlock to come in so we can get this underway. He's still enjoying himself out there on track. There they are, so we'll bring them in now. So we're joined now by our podium, Michael Skurlock, Raymond Jaeger and Billy Ryan, our top 3 drivers in that order. Skurlock, a fantastic race from you, mate. 2 out of 3 for the evening.
Yeah, thanks, mate. I was getting a bit worried at the end there because I just couldn't work out when everyone pitted and how much fuel they had, and I was starting to stress a bit. And then when that yellow come out, I didn't even know if I was going to get it back on the lead lap. That's why half the field was trapped down 2 laps, I think. So they didn't. That's why half the field was a lap behind. But it was good though. Like, it was interesting.
Yeah, you certainly had a lot of pace in the latter part of both of those 2, the second stage and the final as well. The new tyres obviously helped that right at the end.
Yeah, last, very last second choice there. I didn't know what to do, whether to take him or not, but definitely the right call there.
Yeah, definitely paid off for you there. So congratulations and a couple of really strong results. That's going to help you with your progress through the series. Raymond Jaeger, really strong performance from you as well tonight, mate, with 2nd place.
Yeah, stoked, mate, to be honest. Bit of damage early, put me a lap down early on, and I had to sort of just play some strategy from there to try and get back on the lead. And
certainly worked out for you. Did you find that the line on the track changed, or that it was pretty high most of the night?
No, to be honest, I found, it did change big time. I ended up running down the bottom for most of the run, to be honest, which surprised me.
Yeah, Kansas normally a track where we see a high line. I did notice a couple of the guys, particularly right at the end there, getting almost just driving solely on the apron just to try and generate some lap pace. So, an interesting night for grip.
It was a strange one because early on, in practice especially, it was definitely wanted to be top. But as I said, as it went on, you're definitely down the bottom, for me at least, found a good rhythm.
Yeah, the tyres started slicking it off, so it was getting a bit looser, so you could steer it down the bottom better. So you could actually make the thing pivot.
And Billy Ryan, congratulations on a 3rd place, mate. You're battling away all night, and just managing to snag home 3rd in the end there.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Sort of same deal as Raymond. I got crashed early, and partly my fault. Just another car got together and had to pit and take me fast repair, and I just ran the middle stage as long as I sort of could, and luckily it worked out.
Yeah, I think that late race caution probably played into the hands of a number of drivers, not having to run 50 laps and probably take a stab at it. We had a couple of guys run really long in a fuel window from lap 5 right through to, I think it was about lap 65. Knowing that I think you guys had full tanks tonight, had 100% capacity, so but that would have been really sketchy on tyres by the time they got to that, but obviously helping out.
Yeah, definitely. It was a good racing track though, definitely.
Yeah, no, it was certainly another week and another week of improvement in terms of the quality of the racing. Really, really tight at the front there. I think at the end we had around about 10 cars competing before that final caution for those top placings as well, and all nice and clean racing, and really, really good to be able to watch and broadcast. So well driven, everyone. And Sherlock, what's with you, mate? Running a new livery this weekend, the Chrome.
Oh, mate, I'm just lucky dips, mate, in
Just
the
lucky
trading
dip.
paints. The first one I looked at on the stream, I'm like, what? I don't even know what that is. That looks disgusting. It had like half a word written on the side. Couldn't even read it, and I was like, I don't even know what that is, mate. So I just went for the silver bullet, I think.
Yeah, beautiful. No,
It had the red rims on it.
So obviously clearly worked, and just obviously last as always, anyone that you'd like to thank?
Just everyone at Pace Syndicate, Worm Paints, Blip Clothing, and Racewire. And
Beautiful.
you.
Oh yeah, no, of course. Thank you for that. No, all good.
And Shorey for putting on the league, and Brad and everyone that does all the work for it. It's awesome.
Raymond, yourself?
Yeah, same deal. Shorey puts on a great league. All the guys behind the scene doing great work. Yourself for broadcasting it, of course. But team-wise, Coughlin Race Engineering does a great job for us. Like these solutions, and everyone at Either One Motorsport, really.
Billy?
Yeah, same again, mate. All you guys that put on this, it's a good fun league, and shout out to Terry Rankin, my teammate, that didn't want to show up tonight, so that's really hurt our team points, but we'll move on.
not sour about it at all. That's good stuff. And of course, as always, thank you guys for your time after the race and jumping in, and obviously for putting on the show for us. We really appreciate it. So, that's brings us to the end of another week of Activity Hub Bali. And I believe next week we're off to Atlanta Motor Speedway in Georgia for the same sort of setup. We're going to have a 100-lap race there, so looking forward to that one. In fact, 97-lap race, so that must be to get to that 150 mark. So need to join us then. Obviously, not it for us by any stretch of the imagination. We're just kicking off our week. It is Sunday the night we kick our week off, or end our week, if you want to look at it that way. We say kick our week off. Tomorrow night we do return with the Activity Hub Bali ANSCAR Truck Series. That will be on FGM from around about 7:30 tomorrow night into Tuesday, back with the Oz Pro Am Sim Series. Our first look at the new setup that they've got in terms of having a crack at those GT1 cars that they're introduced into that series for this season. So looking forward to getting into that. I'll be joined then by Scotty Rankin for that stint, and then we head off on Thursday night for the conclusion of the second season of the Oz Endurance E-Series, which is brought to you by FGM eCast. That is our concluding race for that season, and in fact for that series for the year, as we head into the end of year calendar before waiting until we get around to next year to get that all started again. So plenty to come this week, and there will be intermittent broadcasting of other bits and pieces, as there always is on the channel. So if you're looking for something to do with one of your evenings, do drop by. Always love having people involved in the chat. To those of you who are tuned in tonight on your Sunday night, thank you very much, and I hope you get into a good start to your week next week. Obviously in Melbourne tomorrow, the unofficial public holiday before the Melbourne Cup holiday itself. So if you've got the day off, do join us tomorrow night for ANSCAR, live from 7:30 on FGM eCast, your E-Place for Pace. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. We will see you tomorrow. Thanks, Cal Sonic. Thanks for jumping in. And we'll catch up with everyone later on. Thanks for watching.